Hi, welcome to the channel today. Today we're going to be planting southern peas, cow peas, whatever you want to call it. Some purple hulls, some brown crowders. I think there's going to be four different varieties. I'm going to start off here with the corn just to show you how it's doing. It's really jumping out of the ground, doing really good. Last year the mole crickets got it all, but this year I planted and we got a rain right behind it, so you know we don't seem to be having near the problems with it, because last year they just ran up and down the rows. So the mole crickets have been a problem for me. Like I say, last year I had corn growing here last year in the fall, and they wiped out the whole crop. I mean, I got like every 4 or 5 foot, one of them survived, and you could see the ground just plowed by them little guys about that wide, right up and down because it's the only thing that was wet out here. Because whenever I do this, I'll take this trash can, fill it with water, and when I plant the seeds, and I don't know if it's dry, it's necessary, okay? But since we got moisture in here, it probably wasn't necessary, and I don't know if that snake's still in there or not. What I'll do, I'll take 1 or 2 of these and go down the rows and put some water in them, and so they can actually touch the moisture. More important with corn than it is with peas. Peas do not like to be wet. If you find out there's going to be a rainstorm, really shouldn't plant them until you get them up. Once you get up, they take a little bit more water, but if they're in that seedling stage, they really do not like wet soil. Now I'm taking a chance. We got a tropical, but I don't know if tropical storm yet. There's one in the Gulf. This is Monday. Last night they were saying it's going to be a tropical storm. Right now headed towards Houston, which basically means nothing because they don't know where it's going. So we may not get any rain out of it, or we may get 5 inches. So, and it's all going to happen within the next 4 or 5 days. So we have really no idea. So this could be a failure. If it is, I'll come replant it. Now, I do got my handy dandy planter, so I ain't got to bend over as much. First one we're going to be planting is pink eye purple hull, and they call it BVD because it does have tolerance to that disease. It is a purple hull with the pink eye, because that's what's the name. It was bought this year, and this is the look of it. So I don't like these quite as well as the other ones, and I didn't bring my, this ain't gonna work. We're gonna try. Usually I got my side pouch on here, so it makes this easier. And you just drop them in here as you want to go. See, now this is why I sprayed. I have put some chemical in here, and this right here is why. See this little devil right here? That is I hope they don't bite. A mole cricket, and he's a small one, but they'll run up and down these things. So whenever I put my water in there, I step on him so I make sure he's dead. Whenever I put my water in there, I did put some triazine in the water, about a tablespoon or so, not a whole lot, just for those mole crickets. Now, and this is his here. The thing about, now I call it that's just triazine or side or whatever. The bad stuff about this, from what I was reading one of the forums, is it just it's not shelf stable. So if it's packaged this year, it works really well. But next year it's not going to work near as well. It doesn't say anywhere on the package, and we kind of figured why was because if you put it on the package that wasn't no good, people would pour it down the sink, which is probably the worst thing you can do. So I think that's kind of why you don't put that on the label. But it is a pretty good little herbicide, a little pesticide. I do not like using the pesticides unless I have to. But in this case, I'm really afraid that if I don't, well, there's not working as well as it usually does. And like I said, this way I don't have to bend over. Now there's another way to do this, that bending over. That's just tossing the seeds down like this, and they'll fall where they may. Not necessarily a bad idea if you're not as concerned about the number of seeds. Because see, I got seeds there, and it just so happened twice I hit that string right in a row. I could probably never do that again. But because it doesn't, I mean, half the reason I'm planting this is for a cover crop. See, but you get one that bounces way over like that, and I don't like that. So we'll go through here and use this. Now you don't want to get them too close. This works a lot better with my pouch. And I'm probably gonna go get it. But anyway, this is the purple hole, and I'm gonna run and get my side pouch. And that way we can go get a drink of water and cool down. And I'll just lay that like that so I know where we're at. Be back in a bit. Okay, we got these planted here for the pink eye purple hull BVD. These are brown crowder, and these are the peas I like the best. I do like the crowder peas, just like the flavor better. And these are just called brown crowder. Looking through the seed company, the Southern Exposure Seed Exchange, which you have to get that right because there's other companies now that's got like Southern Exposure Seed or Southern Seeds and stuff, but I do like the Southern Seed Exposure Exchange. They do a lot of, you're laughing at me now because I'm having a hard time. I can never quite remember. I do got, over here I got some more peas. But anyway, these are brown crowder peas. They do sell them. I got this in local. One thing, if you buy them local like this, you see one thing they don't have on this, for all the stuff they're showing, it's what year it is, okay? So, like this seed's here, it's in 2025. So I wrote 2025 on there. So I know these are older seeds. I'm not using those because I got these other ones. I'm gonna set this over here because it starts sweating. So I've got fresh seeds, so I'm gonna use fresh seeds, but if I run out, I can use those. You don't want to keep peas over 2 years. So those might be, you know, but at the same time, I'm using these newer peas because I know they're good. I don't want to plant 2 rows of peas and then come back and, oh, they're not good, so I go replant with the good ones. I really use the good ones up at hand. I mean, it's not, these pea seeds here aren't that expensive when you buy them local. I mean, shoot, I probably paid $3 or $4 for them. I'm thinking, I mean, they're not, I think, anyway, they're just not very expensive when you buy them at the feed store and buy them in bulk. So anyway, still gonna use this. I am still using this. They are bouncing a lot. Even using this, they're bouncing somewhat. But this just gives me, like I say, it does. You don't have to use much thinning later on. And that's getting a little deep there. I'm just gonna help it, weren't you, son? He knocked over the rake. Just don't step on the rake now. I'm not worried about you. And if you got one like that, it doesn't matter. We can dig it up later. Like I say, now if you got a smaller seed pack, which I've got some, I'm a lot more picky on those because I don't have, see, there's another, that's the third one. These little devils. Fourth one. I hate them things. So triazine is killing them. But if I hadn't used it, that's what happens. And like I say, I do not like using chemicals unless I have to. And like I said, I didn't pour a whole lot down it, but just enough to at least knock the population back to where they won't destroy my crop. I'm not trying to eradicate it. It does got a deal for a hose nozzle. I could spray this whole thing. I just want to go down the row. I'm not trying to kill everything. I'm just trying to kill those. And that will kind of help limit it anyway. I know some people say, you know, never spray, never put any poison out. And that's okay if you don't mind losing a crop, because that will happen. What happens is they get worse as the year goes on. They weren't very bad this spring. They do make a nematode that supposedly works, and I'd like to try that, but I never think about it. And then again, you have to water it in, and I'm about 125 yards from the water fountain. Well, no, I'm probably 100 yards from the faucet, so it's kind of hard for me to water stuff in. I can, you know, I can run irrigation up here. I got enough hose, but it's just, it's a headache. It's hard to do, and even then, they really want you to use it where I don't think I'm going to have enough pressure. I can use a sprinkler system, so I'd have to be up here spraying by hand. And you know, running a drip system and running a sprinkler system, two totally different things. You have to have the power enough, have enough pressure, and I don't have much pressure to start with. And just the way my system was set up, I didn't set it up. The good thing about having low pressure though is your hot water heater lasts longer because you ain't got all that pressure on it. It's kind of like having high blood pressure. Stuff just don't last as long. So, but anyway, I'll finish this up and then I'll talk about the last row here in just a minute. Okay, I got hot. So we just scattered seed down the last 2 rows. I mean, this thing works really good. It's spacing out. But if you got plenty of seeds, you can just, and you see, I threw out a lot of seed down there, but I had plenty. So I'll thin out later. But with these, it's gonna be different. This is called Whippoorwill. Don't have a lot of seeds on these. So I'm gonna plant those like I should. Here's the look of them. They're different looking. I've never had these before. I've never ate them. Ate them. Never been eaten. So we're going to plant these first. I'll try to plant them. And these, I think, are Whippoorwill are more vining. So what they're going to end up doing is going on this vine, eating and growing all over the place. I'm going to try to get. Let me know when I'm halfway, son. Because I got another variety we're going to plant on this same row. Now, if I was smart, I would have brought my label out here and labeled this stuff. Because I know you say, well, you got a video. You can always go back and look. Yeah, you can. I mean, you will. And I'm also hoping not too deep on this one because my son got a little bit zealous with the hoe. You don't want them about 1 inch deep. So these I'm trying to get, you're supposed to be on every 4 inches, I think, apart. And these are just, I've never tried these before, and it'd be nice to try them. I had some that was black and white, and I want to try those. And I got to looking at the seeds, and these do have the seeds. You know, when they're packaged for 2022. So I think we're getting about halfway.
Yeah.
We're not. We're getting there. I think that's pretty much halfway. So what you do when you have this many seeds left, you just start scattering them down through here after you've done them all well placed. And then I'm wondering, after doing that, what if I run out? Let's go down here. Now we're going to start from the other end. The reason for that, what if I run out of these seeds? I don't want to plant the whippoorwill to a certain point, plant the other one, and finish this out with whippoorwill. So, and it's called Noir, or Noir, whatever, black and white, right? Red and white. They turn out red, and if you let them dry out, they turn black. Since these are dried out, they should be black. And they're black. They're not a bean. Well, technically they're bean, but they're southern pea. I think the peas are bigger, so they're not going to last as long. So it might be a good thing that I... It's like these are semi-vining, which means their vines go everywhere. The whippoorwill is supposed to be 5 foot in length. I had some Puerto Rican beans, black bean, And I was really looking forward to last year. Got the seeds from Gerald's garden, put them out, and those stupid little mole crickets ate every one of them. They just went down that line, ate them all. So that's kind of why I'm guns a-blazing when it comes to the mole crickets. Like I say, I don't mind having some damage, but if they wipe you out, I mean, you got to do something, or you just got not be able to garden that. So you have to make a choice. And some people's choices would be, well, I'm not going to disturb the environment. I'm just going to leave them alone. But you disturb nature whenever you plant a garden. Nature actually fights against you in the garden. Because you should never have anything that's just nutrient dense in nature. You don't see this in nature very often. If ever, you don't see a bunch of beans or peas or any high. Okay, now we'll get to go back and plant these. I didn't have that many left. So, because they sell them to you by the ounce, not by the number of seeds. Okay, that's the white ibis up over there. Now, I have had that question about how do you cover these things up. No snake today. He hadn't been back. People don't know, if you've been the first time in Chandler, with a snake in there. About the last 3 or 4 times I was back there, I had one, and he crawled over here, stayed for a while, and he headed out that way and went towards the tomato plants. So I've been nervous ever since then. He was not a poisonous snake. I did not kill him. I did not try to kill him. I left him alone. But I'll take this rake, okay? I'll put the tines down. The reason I'm putting the tines down is I can get rid of some of these weeds that's growing along here by roughing up the soil. So when I do it like this, and I cover it up like that, then they're covered up. But I'm also, as I'm covering them up, I put up a certain amount of those weeds. Not all of them, but some of them. And this ain't a great deal of fun. Now I'm going to stop right there. And we're going to start over here. The reason, I've got to cut that branch down. Now, y'all may think, am I going to do that today? Shoot, no. I was going to do that for this spring. I was going to do that. And I didn't do it. Now, when you're out here in this heat, you do want to worry about working too hard. I don't pack behind it. Some people will. Some people walk down the middle of it. I don't. I think I'm going to have enough. But anyway, that's the planting of it. I'll keep y'all updated how it all goes. See y'all later. Goodbye.